85. It was, and then like people just got split up from there, and just it was a mess.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that drive where the dam is, I used to live on the other side of that dam in Lakeway. So I would drive 620 past the dam to North Austin every day. Like, that's a really great drive in the morning. Like, really pretty.
Yeah.
I love that area. I need to go take a day trip and take the Evo down there and just go cruise around and, like, have fun.
Yeah, somebody was saying, actually the guy who was only been there for a month, he said to do was it Lime Rock or whatever?
Lime Creek, yeah.
Lime Creek. And he said it was kind of really, it's a bit rough.
It might be now. It used to be pretty smooth. It's just really, really tight corners.
Yeah.
It's a good time, though.
Y'all in Warzone 2, or on Modern Warfare 2?
No, we're in Warzone.
Oh, you are?
We just severed because there was 5 of us, and we didn't want to make Dylan go away.
I mean, I can.
No, no. I can.
I have nothing else to do, but whatever.
Yeah, you could have been like at an Evo meet today, you know. Nothing else to do.
If I planned it, I would have, but I never planned it.
Planned it was 3 months. We were planning like 4 months in advance.
This tells you my level of commitment.
Oh my god.
I don't blame him. I was only into the meets and shit for like a year, and then I quit.
I mean, I still go to all the like Evo meets when I can. We're just so spread out. Like.
We all had to drive 3.5 hours, bro.
Yeah, I know.
There was no excuse for that.
What time's y'all meeting?
I want no excuse accepted.
No excuse accepted. Nice. That's fair, I suppose.
Where did y'all go?
Austin. Yeah, we had a good time. It was a good. There was like Evil 9, Evil 7 wagon, like actual JDM Evil 7 wagon.
The white one.
There's a white Evil 4 and an FD, bro. That makes 650 to the wheels.
Oh, was that the LS Turbo?
No, it was. It's still got the Doritos.
Does it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Money on buy.
I marked the vest if either of y'all need one.
I guess I forgot how to play this.
That's because we've been playing Modern Warfare 2.
Alright, I'll hop off. I got to morning anyways.
Yep, same. I gotta be there at 7, so.
Alright.
Guess I need my money.
I got it. No, I got it.
I'll
Sure,
too.
we'll talk to y'all tomorrow night.
Better guess. What loadout's good? I don't even know. Still the same crap? Same crap? Alright.
I'm still running Growl and CSI. I have Ghost right now.
Ghost.
Yeah.
I'm still using the Growl and that new fucking 9mm from Vanguard. The RA something, I can't remember what it is.
I've been on top of control.
Here's a personal box. I'm just gonna hit it since nobody needs it. I don't want some other team getting their load.
Hey, live! I'm gonna go challenge the whole team.
Dude, I'm right behind you.
Oh. Oh, I thought that was a guy. There's a dead person here. There's 2 people. A lot of people coming down the stairs at the same time.
Oh fuck!
Stay alive, didn't go away. Go away, run away. Yeah, they all came down the stairs.
I broke or downed one of them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they had a res. Thought to res one.
That was my tactic, but not exactly.
Oh, we're landing back on there? Okay.
This buddy. I'm rezzing outside. But not anymore.
Try to grab a gun really quick, but it might work out. Alright, no kills. Cool.
back out real quick.
They just all held their hands.
Yeah. Alright, I have to hop out actually.
Oh my
I
god.
gotta go. My son's battery's dead in his car, so I gotta give him a jump real quick. But
Alright.
I'll be back here in like 20 or 30 minutes if y'all are still on.
Probably
Probably
won't
not
be.
me, but I'll play at least one more.
I took a nighttime NyQuil or whatever.
Oh yeah, y'all are both gonna be gone. Alright, I'll watch some YouTube when I get back. I'll talk to you.
'Cause my cough started going and I was like, okay.
Fair enough. I know how that goes. Alright, well I will talk to you guys tomorrow then.
Later.
Later, y'all.
All right, party people. So I built this Glock 19 clone for $499. Now, building a $499 Glock clone isn't very impressive in the year 2022. In fact, I built one for less than that back in 2019. But what makes this build crazy is I'm including the price of the Holosun 507C X2. And if you know anything about the Holosun 507C X2, unless you find them on sale, the average price for them is $309.99. Now you're probably thinking, wait, dude, you gotta be lying to me, because that would mean the slide, the barrel, the slide internals, the iron sights, the frame, and the frame internals would have only cost $190. And now you probably think I clickbaited you, but in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I built this. So welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys are doing awesome today. So a build like this is gonna pose probably a few questions. Well, the first question is gonna be, well, how is that even financially or physically possible to do this entire thing for $499? The second question is it even possible to do something like this for $499? Or did I have to use my YouTube privilege in order to get the parts for said price? And then logically, the next question is it reliable? Is it accurate? How does it actually feel to shoot it? Because that's always a very important thing. And will it work with custom Glock 19 holsters? Or are you gonna have to go out and buy another type of holster? And we're gonna cover all that. And for those of you guys that are new to this channel, I know the subscribers know this, I will put a parts list together for you so you can find everything that we're gonna talk about in today's video. That link will be the first link in the description. I'll also pin that link in the comments. But sometimes, whenever I post a video, things sell out really quickly. And so the best way in order to find things in stock before they sell out after I post them is to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll always be updated on when the videos are coming out. But not only that, whenever you hit the subscribe button after watching a video, you trip the algorithm to push these videos out to newer audiences who may not have ever been exposed to Second Amendment content. And by hitting the subscribe button, you're gonna help spread the word, which makes the gun community stronger as a whole anyway. Plus, it's free to subscribe. You can always unsubscribe if you don't like me later. One thing that you should know, I didn't build this on purpose. This was a result of an accident. And what I mean by that was I was originally working both of the builds out. This one with the Grey Ghost slide. For some reason, this slide won't chamber around. I'm still working on trying to figure this one out. This one's actually kind of stumping me. While I was testing this pimped out PSA dagger, I took the slide off and I put it over here on this guy, and this thing definitely surprised me. Now, this build is comprised of three things that I ordered. First is a complete upper. The second is the frame, which is a 100% serialized frame. There's no 80% frames in this video. It requires background checks. And the third part was an OEM lower parts kit. Now, I understand you're probably yelling at the screen and saying, wait, I thought you said the Holosun was included, but you only said you ordered a slide, a frame, and a lower parts kit. Hold your horses, guys. We're gonna get to that here in a little bit. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with the PSA dagger, it's essentially a Glock clone that's based off the Gen 3 Glock, and they run about $299. They're pretty much the cheapest Glock clone that you can buy right now. And I did a review on this in the summer of 2021, where we put approximately 1,500 rounds between two daggers. This one is mine that I bought with my own money, and then Palmetto State sent out a tester that they were sending to different YouTubers, and every YouTuber put 1,000 rounds through it. So in that video, I did 350-ish rounds through this and a little over 1,000 rounds into tester. And since last year, I have put probably another 1,000 rounds through this. So combined, I got about 2,300-ish rounds through the PSA daggers with a sample size of 2. And so far, they've been running really good. However, since last year, when I published that first video about the PSA dagger, PSA's been hard at work on producing a lot more parts and a lot more configurations for the dagger. And now they have complete slides that come in a ton of different colors and configurations. Like as an example, you know, they have black, flat dark earth, OD green, they have gray. In addition to that, they now have 5 different types of slide cuts. When you're looking at the different slides that they have, some of them include barrels and a guide rod. Some of them only include the guide rod and the internals. Some of them include iron sights, some of them don't. Some of them have optics cuts, some of them don't. Some of them are cut for a Trijicon RMR/507C, and then some of them are cut for like a Vortex optic. And additionally, some have threaded barrels and some don't. But a few weeks ago, there was a particular complete slide on their website, and it was on sale for $399. And that was this guy. This is the Extreme Carry Cut slide. It has the threaded barrel on it, complete internals, suppressor height sights, and a 507C X2. That was $399. Regular price for these, if you get the threaded barrel, are like $420, but they have non-threaded barrel versions that are $399. This one, like I said, was about $20 off on sale. This is a really good steal, considering that these optics run $309.99 when you buy them on their own. Now, in order to complete a $499 build with the Holosun, there's two types of frames that you can choose from. The first frame is the Palmetto State Armory Dagger frame. Now, these frames are $99.99, and they come with all the internals. You can simply just put a slide on it and go to the range and have fun with it. A couple things that I do really enjoy about the PSA Dagger frame: has some of the best ergonomics that I've ever felt on a Glock frame before. The edges are very rounded. It's not a boxy grip like most Glocks are. So if you're kind of Glock averse because you don't like the grip angle or you don't like the boxiness, then this grip might be something worth taking a look at. It has a really good single undercut under the trigger guard, that way you don't get Glock knuckle, and it has a Glock style rail so you can run the typical lights that Glocks can run. And we'll go over in more detail here in a little bit the pros and cons of this frame versus the pros and cons of this frame. So this is called the SCT frame, and this frame is only $49.99. This frame is kind of a hybrid between a P80 frame, a Glock 19 frame, and the Strike Industries 80C frame that has been discontinued. I don't know if you guys remember the Strike 80C frame from a couple of years ago. I was supposed to get one, and then by the time I was about to get one, they discontinued them, and I was SOL. But I always liked the way that they looked, and I always wanted to try one. Essentially, the Strike 80C was made by P80, but Strike Industries did a lot of functional changes to the grip, meaning more aggressive texturing. They changed out some of the scalloping on it, and they also narrowed down the trigger guard to be a lot more narrow than the P80s, because one of the reasons why you had to get a whole new holster with a P80 was because of how wide the trigger guard is. However, with these, they have a more narrowed trigger guard, which means it should theoretically fit a Glock holster, but we'll cover that more in detail in a bit. Second difference between this and the Strike 80 frame is the Strike 80 frame was an 80%. This is a 100%. And the third difference between this and the Strike 80 frame is this is $49.99, and I believe the Strike 80 frames were about $120 to $150. Which means if you take this frame, which is $49.99, get a $49.99 lower parts kit, $399 complete upper, you now have a complete Glock clone for $499. Insane, right? Now, if you are new to customizing Glocks or putting these things together or trying to, finagle them, sometimes whenever you put Glocks together, depending on where you get the parts from, sometimes you get something called tolerance stacking, and you're gonna have to do a lot of diagnosing on why the gun isn't running correctly. If you're new to that stuff and don't have any idea, I do have a course that I'm working on for that. It's my own private platform. I have 30% off right now because the course isn't complete. But there's a ton of videos on the Glock/handgun course already published, and I've got more coming. And there's a lot on the AR-15 side, and I have a lot more coming as well. So there'll be a link in the description for that course if you want to check that out. But now the question comes down to this: is it reliable? Let's see what happens. Now, between the slide being on this frame and the slide being on this frame, I have a total of 730 rounds between the two, with approximately half being on this frame and half being on this frame. And I'm happy to report that I didn't have a single malfunction between either one of these frames. I also tested the SCT frame as well as the PSA frame with this slide, with a multitude of different brand of magazines from OEM Glock, ETS mags, and Magpul P mags. And I also tried a few different types of ammunition. I tried some 115 grain round nose, some 124 grain round nose, 124 grain NATO, and then I tried it with 147 grain. Every single type of ammo went right through this just as reliably as it would an OEM Glock. All right, let's try some aluminum cased, some Blazer aluminum 115 grain, see what happens. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, I didn't test precision accuracy, but I didn't notice any inaccuracies. I was shooting from about 45 to 50 feet away from a steel silhouette that has a hostage popper, and I was able to hit the hostage popper no problem from that distance, and I found that I was just as good with this build as I am with my everyday carry gun. However, a handgun needs to have more than just reliability and accuracy in order for me to like it. Sometimes it just has to have the right feel. Talking about the PSA frame, the one thing that's very fascinating about this is I typically don't like rounded frames. In my experience, the only rounded framed gun that I've liked is the M&P 2.0. This is actually the new metal version. I just got it. We got a video coming on that in the future, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video. But I like their rounded grips. They work for me. But like P320s, especially the original P320 grips, and some other brands as well, they just never worked for me. Although they feel amazing in my hand, I'm just not that great with them. But this one is another exception. This one molds right to your hand without a single hitch. You're able to really get a grip on it. To me, it feels like it was made for my hand. In addition to that, the texture on it is almost like this microdot stippling. It's deceivingly grippy. Like at first you don't think it's gonna be too grippy, but then when you start shooting it, you're like, wow, that's pretty nice. And it's also easy to mitigate recoil with this frame because you have this finger groove right here, you have the undercut, and then you have this little lip on the front strap that keeps the gun from slipping out of your hand under recoil. Now, in regards to feel, the SCT frame is a bit of an anomaly. And what I mean by that is it's more blocky than a polymer 80 frame. And those are, kind of blocky. And when you first grab it, it doesn't feel as natural in your hand as the dagger frame right here. And so whenever you're just holding this frame, doing some dry fire, it might feel a little bit weird or a little bit awkward. And for me, who likes blocky frames, that's really saying something. However, with that being said, whenever you start shooting the gun, it's almost like the gun starts melting into your hand in a good way and starts molding. I found that I was really able to mitigate recoil with this frame much better than I can with this one. And I think a lot of that has to do with having a textured ledge, but it also has to do with having a double undercutted trigger guard instead of a single undercut. This one also has a nice little ledge on the front of it right here. In the back strap and the front strap, everything is textured perfectly. It just seems strange that when you just hold it, it doesn't feel very comfortable, but under recoil, it feels a little bit more comfortable than this one, just in my humble opinion. And at first I thought I was crazy, but then I was at the range testing some guns with my buddy Mike from Tactical Considerations. He's not a Glock fan. He does not like Glocks very much. And he said the exact same thing when he grabbed it. He said it felt funny, but then I let him shoot it. Frame. First, we'll cover the Pro number 3, that Glock more forgiving when it comes to holster compatibility because they're made